backsliding.
We be backsliding. We can't help it. But I'm Sunny Hepburn.
And I'm Brandy Fleeks.
And this is Book of Lies. The podcast.
It's Bolt, bitches.
Happy 2023, Brandy. Welcome to the new year.
Yeah. I guess so.
You're fucking Eeyore for real.
Eeyore.
Yeah, I guess.
That's hilarious.
Moo.
Eeyore. All right.
It's fine.
I like Eeyore, so I'm okay with that.
Okay.
Thanks a lot.
Well, it's a compliment then, right? If you like Eeyore.
Mm.
I'm waiting for Brandy to get her groove back. So, just to get a newfound lust for life, a thirst for, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah.
So, since this is our first episode of the new year, and we've been I think you as well, and a lot of other people have been really caught up into the court proceedings of Jen Shah.
Yeah, she's going to jail.
Yes, she's going to jail.
She's going to jail.
So we did have an episode. It was called Bravo Background Checks, Jen Shah. It released in December of 2021. I'm going to use that as a resource.
Damn, it's been a whole year.
And then some.
Yeah.
We finally have results and hearing, not executions, but what are those called? Sentencing.
Yeah.
She's been sentenced, and based off of what we talked about last time, there's a lot more to the story. There's a lot more to the story. So if you guys ever want to go back and listen, it's episode 139, Bravo Background Checks. And it's about Jen Shah. We talk about her upbringing, all the things, like her background, what she's been doing, and, she used to work for Thrive and Prosper.
Right.
In telemarketing, and that's kind of how she that's where she made her career path and moved up in.
Right, and then she started her own telemarketing company.
She started her own telemarketing company, and what I thought was that she was just selling leads.
That's how she made it. That's what they made it sound like, was that she was just selling leads.
Right, and so that's the impression I was under. Oh, she's just selling leads and sold some seniors to some fraudsters.
Right.
The truth is, her company that she opened up, her sales team was doing the same shit to people that the other companies were doing.
Right.
So she would use the leads once she got everything she got out of leads, and she was selling them. But the thing is, they took all of these people's money. Mm-hmm. They took everything. They quickly built a rapport with them and was asking really hard questions to I would have answered these questions, but if they would have asked me and I was older or unaware, I was like, how dare you ask me these questions? We just got on the phone. Because they called this, I'm going to call this episode the business opportunity scam. And right. That's what it was, the business opportunity scam.
Yeah, because they wanted to, they were going after old people who, like that lady that liked to sew, and she was making those blankets, and they were selling her, they sold her an online store, and then she couldn't get it to work, and then she was trying to get customer service, and then they just kept selling her stuff, but none of it was actually anything.
Well, they were selling people items and packages that were to little to no value.
Right.
You can't use this, so I shouldn't be selling this to you for $8,000. How you should be ashamed. Be ashamed of yourself.
Yeah.
So she was managing a sale floor doing the same thing, and what they would do was the gag wasn't just getting their contact information, it was also getting their credit card details.
Of course.
So they could continue to bill them.
Right.
So their concern. Okay, so also before I get into it, I've got one more resource for you. Let's give it up to the Bravo Docket with Ceci and Angela. Amazing. Amazing podcast. Very thorough. Lots of inside information that I don't think I would ever have access to. So they're amazing. They're lawyers and they're Bravo fans. So, and I feel like a bunch of Bravo people get into fucking trouble. Always.
Because they pick these people off the street, basically. They send in an audition tape, and That's it. Like, they don't actually do background checks. Are you good on camera? Can you put on a show? That's basically what they're looking for.
Do you have money?
They're not looking for the history behind how you got your money.
Are you cutthroat?
I mean, they are to a point where it's like, what do you do? But you can say you do something and you're doing something else.
Well, I think that's pretty much what Jen fucking did.
Yep.
Because her scam was almost 10 years long. So it was a 10-year long scam. Jeez. And right when everyone that she was associated with was getting brought down and getting sentenced,
was going to jail.
She then segued to the Bravo Housewives and started a fashion business and was doing other things and separated from this marketing scam that her and Stu Chains were immersed in. From the Bravo Docket, I was able to hear text messages between her and Stu.
Yeah.
Conversations between the salespeople on the floor and their victims. Who? Well, how many cars do you have? Oh, we just have one car. Oh, is it this? Oh, we own it. Oh, okay. Like getting, categorizing their assets to figure out what they could sell and how much money they could take them for.
Here's what's funny is that's the kind of shit that collections people do. And, or those people, people who want you to start a business, those MLMs, they do that shit too. Well, what can you sell some stuff to put your, to buy your first pack or your first whatever. Like, that's the kind of shit that unscrupulous fucking people do.
Sales tactics.
And it's like, I'm not going to... Can't you ask someone for the money? Can't you... No! No! I can't ask anybody for anything. I can't sell anything. I have nothing to sell. You get off my phone.
I have nothing. 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 Get off my phone.
Get off my phone. Like, that shit pisses me off. Who do you think I am? Like, my name is not Paris Hilton. I cannot ask my parents for money. I don't have money. I don't have rich boyfriends, rich fiancés, all these things. I'm not, I was not born into wealth. People around me work just like I do. They don't make millions of dollars. I can't ask them to borrow $8,000 for you to steal from me.
Okay? For you to steal from me. That's why they telling me no, because they know it's a scam.
Like...
But
please.
I feel like it's very presumptuous for any salesperson or any anything.
Anybody trying to get some money from you.
For you to ask me what assets I have. I mean, I understand, how much money do you make? I don't feel comfortable asking people that. Yeah. I don't. And so
it's not your business.
It's not my business.
They make it their business to try to get that money. How much do you make a year? Okay, well, can you give me all of that?
No.
Like, that's their job.
Yeah.
But, like, I can't make that my job. Like, that would not be my job. Because, again, I'm like, who the fuck are you? Mm-hmm. So, I'm assuming that the other people on the end of the line are going to be like, who the fuck are you?
The messed up thing about the victims is they were seniors, retired, like late 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s. They're not going back to work.
No.
They're not going to be able to make back
that money. They're on fixed incomes.
I'm on a fixed income. And I'm taking care of my husband, my mom, my sick this, my, that.
Right.
These people, someone was like, they were like forced to go, they lost their home. Yeah. They were homeless. Mm-hmm. They've taken out other credit cards, other lines of credit that they have to pay back. Oh, and like they get them to open up fucking credit cards so then they can charge those credit cards.
Right.
It's so wrong. And what Jen was trying to argue is that okay, I'm just going to say
that she didn't know.
No, she was so delusional about what was happening. She couldn't admit to herself that she was wrong. That's why she was claiming that she didn't do anything and she wasn't guilty, because she pretty much blocked it out to that it wasn't wrong as to what she was doing, that she was robbing hundreds of people of thousands of dollars and taking them for every penny that they had.
That's crazy to me. Like, if you're gonna rob me, at least can I at least keep my underwear? Like, can I have that? I need that. Can I have my drawers, please? Okay. They're like, no, we want that too. You got to be naked in the street.
Damn,
Fuck you.
Damn. I heard this one call. This guy was talking to this older woman, and he was talking so fast to her, and he was like, "Oh, it's only going to be $45,000." She was like, "I'm sorry, what was that?" Or he was like, $45,995, $4,950 or $45, something weird. And she was like, "What was that?" He was like, $49.95. And she's like, "Oh, okay."
49. She was thinking $49.95.
And he's thinking $5,000.
Right.
And knowing that he misrepresented it, that he found out all her tea, I guess, at the end of the call because she had someone else signing up for something, like looping in maybe a family member wanted to help her out or something. So he was collecting all of their information. And then she was like, and then she comes back and her tone is totally different. She was like, "I've been trying to get you on the phone, bro. Like, after I talked to you, it's been a fucking shit show." She was like, "My husband died. Like, somebody died from this shit. My cards have just continues to be charged, like charge after charge after charge. Like, it's nonstop.
Cancel the cards. Like, what the hell? I'm quick. I'm like, my card has been stolen. My shit is lost. Can I get a new card? Yeah, turn that one off and give me a new one. I'm not doing all that."
Yeah, and then they would get multiple cards, like to split up transactions, and they would just take that card to the max. And they had different businesses using different credit card processors. Ugh. So on the phone, and even on the text messages, you hear or you read Jen and Stu and maybe even sales representatives talking about processing payments through different LLCs and different companies, different transactions, because it won't go, it'll go unnoticed by the SEC. She was very involved. Or
the FTC.
I don't know.
Because they weren't a public company, right? The FTC is the Federal Trade Commission. Oh. And businesses have to follow their practices. Especially when they're accepting money from other people.
Right. Ooh, okay. Good to know. Let me put that shit down.
Yeah, they're the ones that say you can't sell somebody nothing for money.
Right. that is to little to no value, and
right.
You're taking all of their fucking cash.
Right.
And then, people would try and do chargebacks, and you know what a chargeback is when the payment has been made, but then you go out to your bank and say, "Hey, this is bullshit," and the bank tries to get the money back, and the merchant has to work with you to refund the money. Mm-hmm. And if you get so many chargebacks,
yeah,
you get in trouble.
Right.
And they was getting hella chargebacks.
Cause, man, I'd have been like, this company right here, to the bank, I'd be like, anybody who has a charge from this company, you guys need to look into because it's fraud. The bank would have probably been like, "Ma'am, no." Because, banks, but just saying, sometimes y'all need to pay attention. Bankers.
Because they're in cahoots, too. They're getting their cut.
Yep. They get their fees.
They get their fees. They get their cups. They get their overdraft fees. Mm. You know what I'm saying? They're getting all the pie.
Late fees, overdraft fees, fucking cancellation fees, whatever.
Look at merchant transaction fees. They get their cut.
Yep.
So you guys, I think banks should be held liable as well. Like, if you guys are allowing this shit to fucking happen, how dare?
Right.
Like, how dare?
Because a lot of times, like, and especially, like, for the elderly people, they're not spending thousands of dollars per transaction. Like, it's, what do they call it? Suspicious activity or unusual activity.
Right.
So they need to look into that.
Right.
And if you're not, like, my bank will be like, "Oh, did you try to spend $3,000? And I'm like, "Hell no, because I don't have $3,000. So, I get a freaking thing, and they're like, "Okay," but some of these banks don't fucking care.
No, they don't. Good luck, Brandy.
Like,
you've got $5 left.
I'm coming to your office. What's your address? What is your corporate headquarters? I'd be like, who do I need? Who is the president of this company? Who's his boss?
And then she would hide, like, she would put companies in different people's names. So when we were talking, I was like, "Hey, there are all these bank accounts in different countries I never thought about. They had bank accounts in Kosovo."
What?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and then, like, some countries don't recognize money laundering because, like, that falls under money laundering.
Mm-hmm.
some countries don't recognize money laundering as a crime, so you can't get money back from banks in those countries. Mm-hmm. And you can't fucking sue, because, again, they don't recognize it as a crime.
Right. So Jen went through a lot of work to hide the businesses.
That's exhausting. Like, seriously, I'm sorry. I just don't have it.
To hide her involvement in the bank, and not in the bank, but in the schemes. And she was the one who, hired people, put together the scripts. She was bitching a text message that someone got a hold of one of the scripts, the sales scripts that they have on the floors, because they're fucking shady. Because they were doing fucking shady ass shit. Mm-hmm. And then I felt like Stu was like her sub. And he was just like, I just want to take care of you. I want to make you whole. I'm going to make sure you're good. You're going to get your $5,000 a week. It's coming, blah, blah, blah.
$5,000 a week.
She was getting money from all kinds of places, from selling leads to shady people and reselling them, to credit card transactions that she was getting from elderly people, of course, and the different, businesses that she was doing these frauds in. So she's selling leads. She's getting money from fraud credit card transactions. And I think she might have been getting percentages of other businesses that may have been doing the same stuff as well. So,
but that boiled down to $5,000 a week. I feel like she would have been making more weekly from all this shit.
This is what Stu was saying about something. There was a bank account that had hundreds of thousands of dollars in it, and someone stole the money.
Oh, what?
So there was a situation, and so she was hot, and he was like, "I'm gonna get you. I'm gonna make sure you're whole again. I'm gonna take care of you.
So
I'm gonna take
somebody
care of
stole
you."
the money that she stole, and she was mad.
Girl,
you stole my stolen money.
How dare you? Do you know how hard I have to work to steal this money?
Okay, I got ripped off of the money that I ripped off from other people.
Mm-hmm.
What the fuck?
And then she was talking to Stu via text. Saying, oh, you want to start your own business? You want to do this, you want to compete against me? Those are my leads. Those are my,
oh my God. Bitch!
She knows what she was doing.
Yeah.
And she thought that she was going to get off until she saw that when she decided to plead guilty, she pled guilty to 1 count of wire fraud. One count of wire fraud. And the only reason she did that is because she saw all the evidence that they had stacked against her, which were the text message conversations between the people, voice conversations of the reps on the phone with the salespeople, with the victims. This is what we have against you. Oh, okay. I did it.
Here's what.
She pled guilty when she found all the evidence that was against her. But then was I waited so long because...
Waited so long to plead guilty?
To stop. And then she was trying to sell merch, for herself, free
Jen
Shah.
Shah.
All that stuff.
Shah, amazing.
And then they're like, well, they didn't want them to be able to use any, Bravo, any of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City footage or anything that has taken place on the show against her.
Okay.
She's like, this is a character, it's super edited, this is, that's not who I am.
That's not true, because there was a video of her railing against all of her employees when she had to go to the reunion. Remember? She was cussing out, she cussed out one of her employees, his name was Koa.
The dress guy.
Yeah.
The guy who made her a dress.
And she threw fucking, I think, nachos or something at him.
You don't disrespect nachos.
Food at him.
Hell no.
Oh, I want to say it was a chili bowl. She threw some fucking food at him and got up and left. And then came back and, stormed. It was, 15 minutes of her just, going off.
She's a firecracker.
She's abusive.
Toxic, I would say that. I'm I can't work for you.
Because if you're throwing food at me, we're going to fight.
Speaking of working for someone toxic, have you thought about the blog post?
You're toxic.
I'm not toxic, that's not what I was saying, but I was just asking.
Toxic. Senna is toxic, guys.
Well, so she pled guilty to 1 count of wire fraud. And the people were like, okay.
Which people?
the court system, the prosecution, the prosecution, they were like, this fraud went on for almost a decade. You could do 120 months, which is 10 years.
You can do. Who talks in months? Can you give me some fucking years? Because I don't know what that means.
Well,
12 times 10. Okay, whatever.
Well, listen, 18 months is better than 2 years.
18 months is better than 2 years.
Right?
18 months is better than 24.
They talking months, like babies. Like, how old is your baby?
Okay. 60 months.
37 months.
Your kid is 5.
I've got a 60-month-old, and girl, let me tell you.
Like,
woo! Actually, she's 66 months.
What are you talking about?
Weird. But anyway, she was like, oh, I think 36 will be better for me. Like, she was trying to plead that she only do 3 years. And the prosecution was like, you're going to do 120. And the reason she was being prosecuted in New York is because she set up an office in New York. She was living in New York. Right. She was there for a few years. Mm-hmm. And that's why they was coming for her.
Right.
And they was like, let's go. We got you. We finally got you, Jen.
And then, yeah, they said it was like, there was offices that were working with her. New York, Utah, Nevada, and Arizona. So she could have actually been charged in every single state.
Mm-hmm.
Dumb.
Mm-hmm. And there's lots of companies still out there that are doing this this fucking scam.
Mm-hmm.
So guys, this is what we're here to tell you.
And here's what's interesting is that these people, like, I don't know, like, okay, so you know how they get these lists, right? Yeah. Again, I had signed up for like one of those fucking things where, you they send you something, you put it together, and then they're supposed to pay you or whatever. Mm-hmm. And then I was on all of these lists, but I never got called. Like, I got mail from these places, but nobody ever called me and was like, hey, you want to start a business, an online business? Here's what, buy this website, blah, blah, blah. And then, keep trying to get my money because I don't have none. Mm-hmm. But you got to be careful, like, what you're signing up for and fucking, because these people are insane.
Mm-hmm. And they paid a lot of money for marketing advertising because they have it.
Yeah.
They have the money to scam you.
Because they have your money.
They've got your money, they got your neighbor's money, and now they're coming for someone else's money using your money.
Yeah.
Which is really fucked up. It's like, you really can't trust anything. You really can't trust anything. Like, what kind of world have we created here? Oh my God. Fucking scammers, bro.
I remember when I got this job. I was like 8 weeks pregnant with Gracie.
Okay.
And I got this job working for this company in the Valley. And they were a company that would assume a debt. Like, so basically we had a script and like we had to be rude to people on the phone.
Oh.
So immediately like, and they didn't even train us. They were just like, follow the script.
Oh.
We had no training.
Good
like
luck.
The training was like 10 minutes long, for real. And it was basically they answer the phone. No, we called this list. She by Sheree was on this list too, by the way. I called them, but they didn't answer the phone. It was out of order or something. So you call this number, and when somebody answers, you say, "Let me speak to the owner."
Like that?
Just like that. Let me speak to the owner.
Wow.
So I was like, "Hey, is the owner available? Hi, may I speak to the owner?" Like, I was, because I don't just call people and just
speak like that to someone. Yeah,
exactly. And they're like, "No, that's not how you do it." I was like, I am not comfortable talking to people like that.
Yeah.
And they were like, well, you have to talk to this. This is the proven way that, we get.
This is effective.
You call, let me speak to the owner. And then you ask them about if anybody owes them money. So like they're small businesses. And if somebody owes them money, our job was to get them to sign over whatever the debt was to us, and we would go after that person for the money. Mm-hmm. They would get a portion of the money that they were owed, and then we would get whatever the portion, the company would get whatever the portion was agreed on was like 50-60 or 60-40, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was like these companies weren't really going to take these people to court.
Right.
But the company that I was working for would go after the people for what the money. I don't know if they were like going to court, whatever. But like the way that the company was running was real fucking shady.
Mm-hmm.
It was literally a room with phones. That was it.
Boiler room.
No, there was no computers.
Just phones.
A room with phones and desks. We go sit at a desk and get on the phone. They give you a big ass stack of phone numbers.
Oh my God.
You call these businesses and say, "Let me speak to the owner."
But what if they were like, "Okay, we have a debt," then you would hand it off to somebody else?
Yeah, then we would hand it off to whoever the supervisor was there.
Okay.
And they would take it over from there. But the thing was, they were like, "Well, we're starting you off at $10 an hour." And actually, no, it was like $8 or something like that. Plus whatever
Incentive?
leads generated, whatever. It wasn't even sales. It was like whatever
when you got a lead on the phone and you handed it off to the supervisor.
And if they,
closed it.
If they closed it, if they were about to make money on it, then you would get like 1% more, whatever like that. And I was like, the math ain't mathing for me here.
The math ain't mathing.
I'm like, I have to drive all the way down here,
girl,
to come do this. I was there for 2 days. I was like, I'm not coming back here.
Yes.
And then I was like, I can't make it. Like I can't return, blah, blah, blah. Can you send me my check? No, you have to come get your check. So I had to go down there to get my fucking check because they wouldn't mail it to me. It's just fucking, the whole thing was fucking shady. And this company, like when you go in their lobby, they had like all these certificates, like they were authorized to work in other states. I was just like, ooh, this company. And I'm guessing, there are companies where it's legal to buy off a debt, from another company, or to assume a debt. But the way they did it, I was just like, I cannot. I felt like there was some shade going on. Mm-hmm. But, I mean, who knows?
Let me speak with the owner.
Let me speak to the owner.
Like, bye. Hang up.
People hung up on, like, I think I talked to maybe 10 people because they would just click, like, who the fuck are you calling me? Calling my office, talking about let me speak to the owner. And some of these companies, the owner's not there. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? There's no owner. Yeah. So, it was that was a shit show. 2 fucking days. I was like, I ain't doing it.
And you didn't even have a contact person's name? You were just like, let me speak to the owner.
Just let me speak to the owner. That was it.
That's the coldest lead ever.
Girl, it was a list of numbers and names of businesses, and that was it.
Fuck that.
Maybe an address.
Fuck that.
And they would just print off, like, in each state, a stack from, like, A to S or A to, like, N. And then, so it was, girl.
Pass. Hard pass.
I would never, ever do that again. But I should have known it was shady because when I called, it was in back when the penny saver was still around.
You loved the penny saver.
And they were hiring, and you call this number, and it was a burner phone. So they would answer, and they wouldn't even answer like with the name of the company, and just say hello. And I was like, is this, whatever the hell the phone was? Yeah. I was like, okay, I was calling because there's an ad about, needing employees or needing, people. Oh, yeah, come in at this time. And, like, they didn't do an interview. They just basically were like, come in and start.
Put you on the phone.
Yeah. I was like, oh, God, this is weird.
I'm not trying to hate on you, Brandy, but I think you are way above that. I know this was years ago. I know this was, like, almost 9 years ago.
Yeah, and I was desperate because, I was pregnant and...
newlywed.
Oh, girl. So I was just like, I need a job. And that's the one that I ended up with.
Committed to for 2 days.
Yeah.
I've definitely, I remember, I don't know if I told you, but I think I did. Right after I graduated, I went on that interview to Long Beach down there, and they had me like door knock, like
I did
trying
that
to sell
too.
shit.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, "How dare
Going
you?"
business to business, like trying to get them. I did one. It was like stamps.com. Mm-hmm. They were trying to get businesses to buy postage meters and whatever. And then there was another one where they were doing phone service. And
that's brutal. That is straight brutal.
Yeah, that was when I was 20.
there's a special type of person who is a salesperson. I'm a salesperson. I'm not a cold call type person. I'm a warm lead type person. Like, hey, you signed up for this. You were interested, and I'm calling you. And if you say no, you say no. Okay, bye. I guess it's not a deal. I guess it's not going to work. But walking into a business unexpected and hoping to sell you something from a catalog, that does not compute for me. And this is a different day, obviously, because that shit happened like almost 20 years ago. We're fucking dinosaurs, bro.
Yeah.
And there's just so many ways right now that people are generating leads and bringing up, like, getting business. But the next evolution is the way that they're scamming people.
Yeah.
And I didn't feel like, I mean, there's always been the scare of a scam that you're going to get frauded, that you're going to get jacked. But now it's just left and right. You have to just duck and dodge. And Jen Shah was right in the middle of people ducking and dodging and not being able to get out of the fucking turmoil of the list that you've gotten on.
She didn't have an exit strategy.
Oh, I'm going to become a Real Housewife of Salt Lake City. That's my exit strategy.
That's not an exit strategy because now you're on TV.
You dumb. Yeah, I know.
And they're like, I'm pretty sure, like, whoever was investigating her, somebody came to them, because I'm sure they don't watch The Housewives. Mm-hmm. Somebody came to them and was like, oh, wait a minute. Isn't that the chick you're investigating? Isn't that Jen Shah? Oh, she's on TV now. And he was like, excuse me? Okay, yeah, no, we need to get this bitch, because now she's on TV flaunting the money that she stole from these people. Like, you know what I mean? So, yeah. You can't go on TV when you're doing dirt, people. Don't be stupid. You're literally putting the spotlight on yourself.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Coach knew about it.
I don't know. They said that she didn't tell him.
She mentioned him in one of them text messages that was back and forth between her and Stu Chainz.
She mentioned him, but
she mentioned Coach would help you go over questioning, because they both have been, like, interviewed and up for dispositions or whatever you want to call it. Before can't say it. Before they were having the spotlight shined on them, and she coached or instructed Scott.
Who is Scott?
What's Stu?
Stu?
I want to call everybody Scott.
Who the fuck is Scott?
Stu to lie about
Free?
certain things. And she was like, oh, Coach has given us, Sharif has given us some questions to help you prepare for, your deposition. To help you prepare for it. Like, I heard his name in one of the text messages, and I was just like, okay, so, like, does he just think this is a witch hunt and he's helping? Or what? Like, I don't know. So,
it's all.
Let's talk about her argument for why she should have got 36 months. Because she was like, oh my gosh, like, my family's going to be so sad without me. Like,
they're going to be sad. Yeah, everybody's family is sad without them when they go to jail. That's what happens.
My kids are going to be graduating from college and high school, and they're going to look out into the stand, and my chair is going to be there, and I'm not going to be there, and I would be, like, devastated. Don't do this to my family. And I'm like, bitch, you did all this shit to all these other people's families, people living on the streets. You took their very last cent, ho. Yeah. You did not care. And I'm supposed to have sympathy for you?
Okay, what about the family that no longer has a roof over their heads? What about that family? Okay. What about the family who had family members die because of the fucking stress that you put them under, because now they were in debt up to their fucking eyeballs, up to their fucking, they're drowned. You know what I mean? Like, shut the fuck up. Oh, no, me. All about you, nobody else. Fuck everybody else. It's all about you. The world revolves around Jen Shah. Everybody's supposed to suck Jen Shah's ass. Fuck off.
Oh, and she knew what she was doing. That's the thing. I think it's so funny that she's playing this part on Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I didn't do anything. Just wait. They're going to see. I'm going to get an apology. This is fake. I didn't do anything. You was a fucking liar. You was a liar. You were involved. You knew. You worked very hard to hide what you
orchestrated
were doing.
It. Like, that, you weren't involved. You orchestrated the whole thing.
Yes, shame on you, girlfriend. So
not only were you involved, you were in charge.
Right. And she was like, I didn't talk to any of these people. I didn't talk to any of these victims. No. Okay. So you had all these other minions do your dirty work?
You were in your ivory tower.
Right. And they were like, so that's why you need to get 10 years because you were so high up in the chain.
Uh-huh. Because the people talking to them on the phone, some of them might know it's, a scam. Some of them might not. But again, they're trying to get a paycheck too. Because they're not making millions of dollars.
No, they're not.
They're trying to get a fucking paycheck.
Yep.
Some people just do shit because they have to. And again, I was like, this is shady. I'm not doing this no more with that job. But some people don't have the scruples to say, you know what, I don't think this is right.
Yeah.
And they just do it. Mm-hmm. So, unfortunately, we have to assume that people are stupid.
Let's not call it stupid. Let's call it ignorance. And I'm going to say that because when I used to work in West Hollywood and I was working for IAC, we were selling local listing, like local advertising for businesses in like local search.
Okay.
And, when I'm excited about something and I'm passionate about it, I'm going to sell your shit. But until I find out that the stuff that I'm selling is not working.
Oh, you're talking about the guy that went to prison and,
No.
Not the Thai kidnapper.
No. Oh my God, no. This is like City Search when I was working at City Search in West Hollywood.
Oh. Okay.
And I'm like dealing with these businesses and they're trying to just get connects and clicks and phone calls and drive traffic to their business, or not just traffic, but phone calls and customers. And people are like, okay, well, we'll give you a budget of $1,500 for advertising. And the way I'm selling it is, hey, we're only going to charge you that $10 or $5 or whatever it is when a real customer who's interested in your product actually clicks on it and goes to your page.
Okay.
That's how I was.
When someone goes to their page.
Goes to their local listing page, like either on City Search or Yelp or something along that line. Mm. And so, or they call you or whatever, a real person doing this. And so I would get people to sign up for budgets of $1,500 and then their budget's spent in a week. It's supposed to go out for the whole month and then they don't get phone calls. They don't get more business. So they're like, ring, 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 Sunny Fleeks, you sold this to me. What the fuck? Where's my money?
Is this a place where you said people were partying in the office?
Yeah, we had the Christmas party in the office upstairs, on the rooftop, and
I feel like you said people were would come in with bottles and stuff, and they
were drinks. We could have drinks, and you just okay. It was a great company to work for. It was a great environment.
Their culture was great.
But on the sales floor, you could cut the tension with a knife.
I remember you said the guy, there was a new supervisor, and he was like, all the people that work for me drive BMWs or some fucking bullshit.
I don't know, some bullshit. But then if I would want to leave early, people would be looking at me with their eyes, how dare you? Is she leaving right now? They're dialing on the phone. Everyone's trying to make a sale. And I was just I gotta go pick up my kid from school right now. So I'm gonna go. And you could come in, but they expect you to be there all the time, just pounding the phones and trying to get sales and stuff. Ugh. And I met some very interesting people, but I stopped selling because I knew it was fuck shit. I was just this shit's not working. I'm not going to be taking people's money, and the shit don't work. So they fired me.
So the product was garbage.
Maybe some people might have got some clicks, but what we were doing is we're getting this advertising money, and then we're pushing their content out into networks. So we were buying ad space in different networks to promote their the Yelp network or local listings, when
Yellow Pages or something.
Yeah, when that shit was hot, you know what I'm saying? But it just wasn't working. They were just spending up that budget to just eat up that money. And it just wasn't working. People weren't getting a return on their investment. Ugh. And I felt bad about it. I was just
Well, at least you weren't what are you doing wrong to them? You know what I mean? Because that's what these folks were doing. this product isn't working, and they'd be like, well, what aren't you doing right? And then they would sell them something else that was garbage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then stopped answering the phone, the customer service numbers when
when the math ain't mathin'.
Right. So yeah, it's just fucking.
I just think that I'm happy that Jen Shah has finally been sentenced. I'm happy that she's finally admitted to guilt. Even though she only admitted to one count of wire fraud, she has done so much more. But, she only has to admit to one thing because she thought, if she tried to go and fight it out in court, it would, be a long trial. And she could end up doing those 10 years. So you know how much time she got, right?
A fucking jury would have would have said, yeah, no, bitch, you're going to prison for a long ass time. Because that was my grandma.
Sit down, bitch. Sit down. Yeah. Yes, exactly. So she was sentenced to 6.5 years, and she was happy about it.
Yeah.
Like, okay,
a 6.5 month years party or whatever. 6.5 years party. Month years.
Should I do it in months? 72, 78 months. 78 months she got. That's still a long fucking time. Them fillers are gonna dissolve. And then
her real face is gonna come back.
Her real face is gonna come back. I can't wait to see the real Jen Shah. But then somebody made a statement that how much of that money did she spend at Beauty Lab?
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, it's not like Heather knew, so.
This is true. She did not know.
And I think, well, whatever.
How much money did she spend at Beauty Lab? I was like, ooh, shade. Okay, you right, girl. How much? Let's get the receipts, baby. Baby, get them receipts. But I'm just like, do fucking background checks, Bravo. Don't just throw people on the television, yo. See if they have any, cases building up against them.
Well, the FBI's not going to tell you they're building a case against somebody.
Well, damn, FBI. Just talk to Bravo then. Because it seems like it's a Bravo FBI thing. Like, I think they should have a connection or something. Or I'm telling you, Andy's a snitch.
Well, I don't know, but did you know? 45,000.
Yes, Dana. Yes, honey. I did know 45,000. But yeah, so I don't think we're going to be seeing Jen anytime soon on the reunion, or I wonder when she has to check in for jail, because she was just sentenced earlier this month.
When she has to turn herself in. The Chrysalids turned themselves in yesterday, or was it the day before?
Ooh, girl.
They're going to prison.
We need to talk about them.
Yeah, they're going to they're in prison. They turned themselves in. They got to spend the holidays with their kids, and now they're sitting pretty in the prison system, in the penal system.
Mm-hmm. So let's see. When does Jen Shah
report to prison?
Report to prison.
Report to the pen, please.
But that's probably why she's dealing with depression and stuff, because all of these people you frauded, they've been weighing down on you, girl.
Okay, I was gonna say she had a guilty fucking conscience.
Mm-hmm.
The guilt, but she has to put on a fucking show for Bravo,
Yeah. Okay, so she is due to report to a federal facility on February 17th.
All right, well,
making her release possible by as early as fall of 2028.
That's nice.
That's nice. I go ahead and refer back to that episode that I was telling y'all about, and I told you she was going to jail. Okay, I don't like to see women go to jail, but if you do fuck shit, you do fraud shit, you steal people's stuff, you need to...
You steal people's stuff?
You need to go to jail.
You steal people's stuff?
You's going to jail, okay? Yeah. I'm almost a protected person, I'm almost old lady status, and you fuck with me, you going to jail. Okay, I'm not that old. Brandy, what have you been watching this week?
I'd be like, where's your office located? Because I'm coming down there.
I'm gonna fight you, bitch.
You guys are fucking around with my money.
Nicole, Mary, Terry, let's go. Get in the car. We gotta go. Fuck them up.
I'll burn this fucking shit down. Okay, so I watched this show. Extreme Unboxing.
Extreme Unboxing.
Yeah.
What is that?
It's about these people that they buy clearance stuff and they sell it. So I think I'm gonna look into that. I'm researching right now because obviously you have to have money to buy shit in order to sell the shit. So I'm looking into that and gonna see how that works out. I'm gonna start very, very small, very small.
Where do you buy these boxes from?
They have like companies that, you know, stuff that is like returns, stuff that's on clearance, stuff that's like closeout stuff. Sometimes it's even stuff that like is defective, but like these people bought a pallet and it was like, I guess supposed to be camping equipment, and there was like 8 camping toilets and 3 of them were used.
That's nasty.
But I guess people like, you know, people buy shit, use it, and then return it. And I guess more people do this than I thought, because I feel bad returning some shit that I like used and fucked up and then like return it acting like it's brand fucking new. But people do this. So I
have a friend who, I'm not going to mention their name, but they used to wear the fuck out of some shit and take it right back.
Well, this person, like, I mean, it's just all stuff. Like, there was one that was a brush full of gray hair. Right. Full of fucking gray hair. They returned it.
That's nasty.
And so it came in a box on a pallet. And they were like, you know, so sometimes you get stuff that's like really, really good and really, you know, you're able to really sell it and, you know, make a profit. And then sometimes it's stuff that you can't use at all and you need to just chuck and like basically write it off.
What channel does this come on?
It was on A&E, but now it's on Hulu. There's only one season.
Extreme Unboxing.
It came out in like 2020. It came out during the pandemic. I think like, you know, it came out during the pandemic.
You could go put up a vendor table somewhere and sell your shit if you wanted to.
Well, yeah. So like the people who sell the stuff, they sell at flea markets. Mm-hmm. They sell like at, you know, vendor items. They sell swap meets. Mm-hmm. Some people, you know, they have their own little stores that they, you know, sell stuff at. Some people do fulfillment by Amazon. So, you know, there's lots of
options to sell.
Venues, to sell stuff.
Yeah.
And they sell, like, some of them use multiple things because if it's like something that they get like weights or something like that, shipping costs way more than fucking it's worth to. Yeah. So they sell locally, like, you know how those people set up fucking right there in the desert right there.
Yep.
They do that, you know what I mean? Or if there's a local trade show or swap meet or whatever going on, they do it like that. Mm-hmm. Or they put it on Let Go, you know, like shit like that.
People hustle. Like, I didn't realize how much people work that hustle muscle until COVID, but people be out here hustling.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna like dip my toe in. I'm just gonna go. Look, there was one. God, I can't even speak. There was a website that I was interested in that like I could just get a little thing of like just health and beauty stuff, and see, you know, about putting that like on. Maybe on Amazon, you know, ship fulfillment by Amazon or something else, like sell it in sets, because it was just like, you know, like lotions and face creams and stuff like that, and they're all packaged. Oh, okay. So that just, you know, like see how it works or what's
you'll figure it out once you start it, like, and then it'll grow from there. You just have to actually put your foot out there and actually do it,
right?
And try things, and you'll figure out what works for you, and then you'll be the millionaire that you're meant to be.
Well, so yeah, I was like watching this. I was like, oh, okay, yeah. I mean, that should be easy enough. But again, there's the people that on this show, they didn't have like a niche. Like they were just getting shit from everywhere, all kinds of stuff. Oh. Like they were getting sporting equipment, toys. One pallet was like full of sex toys. Oh. Another one, you know, camp equipment, safety equipment, like all kinds of stuff, beauty products. They were just getting shit from everywhere. I was watching. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna try this and see how it works. So that's what I watched because there was only one season and there was only like 10 episodes. And they're only 30-minute episodes.
Oh, okay.
But what have you been watching?
Girl, I'm watching my guilty pleasure, The Circle.
Oh, yeah.
I love every season that I watch of The Circle. I'm not gonna lie.
I still don't even, like, I think I watched the first season, but I'm, like...
You're just not into it.
I don't get it.
It was just a lot of fun. So I did definitely watch this last season. And I was happy with who the winner was. I thought there was, like, lots of connections. Everybody was single. Some people was lying about being single.
They were trying to hook up?
You know, their game is to flirt their way to popularity.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. They have to become an influencer.
They have to become influencers, and then people have to rate you and vote you high so you remain in the game. But, I mean, that doesn't necessarily... Like, they throw, like, twists and turns. Like, you could be kicked off, and it could be totally anonymous, or they'll ask, like, shady-ass questions, and it'll be anonymous and, like, you know, make people think. So people are always like, oh, so this means this. Oh, somebody said that. Like, it's just, it's interesting to me to watch it. And I just finished the finale last night. So I really enjoyed it. And then I started watching the White Lotus season 2 again. So I'm trying to catch up on that because I'm pretty sure it's over. So I just kind of want to see what has happened.
Yeah, I haven't watched it at all. I wanted to watch it, but I just haven't done it.
It's interesting. Like, they're crazy.
The first season was...
It's crazy.
It was a fucking mess.
Well, this season is a fucking mess too, and I'm only on episode 3. But other than that, I'm reading a book. I'm reading Atomic Habits, and learning how to, instead of make goals, start putting plans together or processes together so I could accomplish that goal and make like micro changes to like build better habits and accomplish my goals. Because the one thing I just read, it was like winners and losers have the same goal to win,
right?
But what's going to set you guys apart,
right,
is your practices in getting there. You know, because winners and losers, everyone wants to win, right? That's a goal, but you have to have more than a goal.
Right.
You have to be able to
have steps to take to achieve that goal. Yeah,
precisely.
That's why like those planners that I get, because they like, you can lay out what your steps that you're going to take are to achieve the goals, but you actually have to do the steps. You can see the steps. You have to do this.
You actually have to do that shit. And me, like, I've never, like, I feel like I've been oblivious, not have been, but was oblivious to a lot of stuff. And by that, I mean, like, I got through school, I graduated, I was fine, I went to college, good. And there was, like there's so much going on in the world, you don't know what people's problems are, what's going on at home, or what type of shit they're getting into. Like, I felt like I had my blinders on, fortunately, so I was able to get my...
Fortunately or unfortunately?
Fortunately. That I was able to kind of stay out of trouble and get a degree, and then work on my career, and then have kids. So some people do it in different ways, and like talking to these kids at school, like they're missing so many opportunities. They're wasting so many opportunities, and
because they don't even realize that they are opportunities.
They don't realize how privileged they are.
Right.
They don't realize their privilege,
and they don't realize, like, if I do this today, I can have this tomorrow, or if I do this tomorrow, then the next day, I'll be rewarded with this thing, or, with this opportunity. That's not how they work. Kids are all about right now.
Right. Now.
Yeah, they want it now. They have no, like, that's what maturity is. It's being able to delay gratification.
Oh, okay.
And they're immature.
Yes.
So, right, they don't see future, they just see now.
Right.
They don't see what's going to happen 5 minutes from now. It's right now. Unless 5 minutes from now they're going to get out of class and they know that. They're looking at the clock. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's all about right now.
It's tough. Like, it's just been a crazy fucking year. Like, I feel like I've matured and developed as an individual.
School year, or like calendar
motherfucking
year?
2022 was a motherfucker. Motherfucking 2022, that bitch that's in the fucking rear view. Right? Yeah. Like, we're moving forward, and we want you guys to move forward with us. And hello, listeners. How are you guys doing? What's happening? We are working on some things for you guys. So, I got a new chair. You don't hear me squeaking no more. Bitch, I got a new chair. I got a new chair, Amazon. Me and Brent put it together yesterday. But we are working.
What's wrong in her room?
Yeah. I want the chair. And then, speaking of what kids want right now, I want a new chair. I want a new chair. Like, for fucking what?
Yeah, what do you need a chair for?
Bitch, I work from home. I sit on my ass all day. Like, stop it. You don't need a chair.
Yeah.
But anyway, hello, listeners. We love you guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for listening. If you aren't already, go ahead and subscribe and come on back. We will try to provide you updated content throughout the year. Throughout the year. But join us. Weekly. Join us on Patreon. Tea Time is popping. We are dropping Tea Time episodes. Hello, patrons. We love you guys. And something special is coming. So watch out. Join us on Patreon. Patreon.com/Book of Lies Podcast. Meet us on social, on Instagram at Book of Lies Podcast. On Twitter, Book of Lies Pod. Facebook, Book of Lies Podcast as well. We'd love to have you. And I'm Sunny Hepburn.
And I'm Brandy Fleece. Didn't we do this already?
And this was Book of Lies. The podcast.
As Ball mentioned.